In 1997, Canibus was the most hyped underground rapper in New York. He had skills, he had respect from legends, he was about to sign a major deal. Everyone said he was the next big thing. Then he made one mistake. He took a shot at LL Cool J, one of the biggest rappers in the world and one of the best battle rappers in hip-hop history. LL responded with a diss track called The Ripper Strikes Back. The song was so brutal that it ended Canibus' career before it even started. His debut album flopped, his credibility was gone, he became a cautionary tale. This is the story of how Canibus went from the most promising new rapper to a punchline, all because he picked a fight he couldn't win. Jermaine Williams, who became known as Canibus, was born in Jamaica and grew up in New York. He started rapping in the early 1990s and built a reputation in the underground scene. By 1996 and 1997, Canibus was getting serious buzz. He had appeared on tracks with Wyclef Jean. He did guest verses that impressed people. His lyrics were complex and technical. Real hip-hop heads respected his skill. In 1997, Canibus appeared on a remix of Wyclef Jean's song Gone Till November. The track also featured LL Cool J. Both rappers did verses. It was supposed to be a collaboration. During the recording session, something happened that would change both their careers. According to interviews, LL Cool J had a problem with a line Canibus wrote on the song. Canibus had a lyric that referenced a microphone tattoo. LL Cool J also has a microphone tattoo. LL felt like Canibus was taking a shot at him. He asked Canibus to change the line. Canibus changed it. The song came out with the new lyric. Everything seemed fine. But Canibus wasn't happy about being told to change his verse. In his mind, LL was using his status to push around a younger rapper. Canibus felt disrespected.
In March 1997, Canibus released a track called Second Round K.O. The song was aimed directly at LL Cool J. On the track, Canibus went hard. He attacked LL's skills as a rapper. He said LL was living off his old reputation. He said LL wasn't as good as he used to be. He questioned whether LL could still compete with younger rappers. Canibus also made fun of LL's commercial success. He suggested LL had sold out and made pop music instead of real hip-hop. He said LL was more concerned with acting and making money than being a great rapper. The underground hip-hop community loved it. Canibus was an unknown taking on a legend. People respected the boldness. Radio stations started playing the song. Blogs and magazines wrote about it. For Canibus, the attention was exactly what he needed. He was trying to build a name for himself. Going after LL Cool J got him noticed. But Canibus made a crucial miscalculation. He assumed LL wouldn't respond, or that if LL did respond, it would be weak. After all, LL was a mainstream star now. He did movies. He had hit songs with pop singers. Maybe he wasn't a battle rapper anymore. Canibus was wrong. LL Cool J heard Second Round K.O. and decided to respond. But he didn't rush it. He took his time. He studied Canibus' style. He prepared. On September 12, 1997, LL released 4321, featuring Method Man, Redman, DMX, and Master P. The song had a verse where LL sent shots at Canibus, but it wasn't a full diss track. It was more of a warning. Then, on November 11, 1997, LL released the real response, The Ripper Strikes Back. The song destroyed Canibus. LL attacked every aspect of Canibus' career and credibility. He said Canibus was a nobody trying to get famous off his name. He said Canibus had no hits, no album, no real success. LL made fun of Canibus' complex lyrical style. He suggested Canibus was trying too hard to sound intelligent. He said real skill was making great songs, not just complicated rhymes. He went after Canibus personally. He mocked Canibus' appearance. He questioned Canibus's street credibility. He suggested Canibus wasn't really from the streets he rapped about. But the most damaging part was when LL proved he was still one of the best technical rappers in the game. The song showed that LL could match Canibus bar for bar. He could do complicated rhyme schemes, he could do wordplay, and he could do it while making a song that actually sounded good.
In February 1998, Canibus released his debut album, Canibus. This should have been his moment. He'd gotten all this attention from the LL beef, major labels were interested, he signed to Universal Records. But the album underperformed. It debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, which sounds good, but it only sold about 115,000 copies in the first week. For someone with Canibus's hype, that was disappointing. More importantly, critics weren't impressed. Reviews were mixed. Many said Canibus was too focused on complex rhymes and not enough on making good songs. They said his technical skill didn't translate to enjoyable music. The album went gold, selling over 500,000 copies total, but it never went platinum. It was considered a commercial disappointment. Meanwhile, LL Cool J released Phenomenon in October 1997, right in the middle of the beef. The album debuted at number 4 and went platinum. It proved LL was still commercially successful despite the beef. Canibus released more albums over the next few years, but none achieved mainstream success. His second album, 2000 BC, came out in 2000 and only sold about 42,000 copies in its first week. His career was in decline. The beef between Canibus and LL should have ended after the diss tracks, but in December 2000, something happened that made Canibus look even worse. Canibus and LL were both scheduled to perform at a live event in New York. There was tension about whether they'd actually battle face-to-face. According to multiple reports, Canibus showed up with a notebook. He had written lyrics down on paper. He was planning to read them during the battle. In battle rap culture, this is one of the worst things you can do. Battles are supposed to be freestyle or memorized. Reading from a notebook is seen as cheating and shows you not a real battle rapper. When people saw Canibus with the notebook, they started booing. Other rappers on the scene made fun of him. The incident became legendary in hip-hop, and not in a good way. LL didn't even need to battle him. The notebook incident destroyed what was left of Canibus's credibility on its own. Canibus continued making music throughout the 2000s and 2010s. He released over a dozen albums. He maintained a small, dedicated fan base who appreciated his technical skills. But he never recovered from the LL Cool J beef. In hip-hop culture, Canibus became a cautionary tale. He became the example of a rapper with skills who didn't know how to pick his battles. LL Cool J, on the other hand, solidified his legacy. The Ripper Strikes Back proved he could still compete with the new generation. He went on to have a successful acting career, continued making music, and became a host on major TV shows. In interviews over the years, LL occasionally mentioned the beef. He always said he had no personal problem with Canibus, but Canibus had disrespected him and needed to be checked. Canibus also did interviews about the beef. In some, he claimed he won. In others, he seemed more reflective and acknowledged mistakes. But regardless of what he said, the public perception never changed. The beef taught younger rappers an important lesson. Having technical skills isn't enough. You need to understand the business. You need to know when to battle and when to stay quiet. And you definitely shouldn't challenge a legend unless you're absolutely certain you can win.
In 1997, Canibus had everything going for him. He had skills that impressed the underground. He had respect from real hip-hop heads. He was about to get a major label deal and become a star. Then he decided to battle LL Cool J. Maybe Canibus thought LL was too commercial to respond. Maybe he thought LL couldn't match his technical ability. Maybe he just wanted the attention. Whatever the reason, it backfired completely. LL Cool J proved he was still one of the best rappers in the game. He destroyed Canibus with The Ripper Strikes Back, and when Canibus tried to respond, it only made things worse. Canibus's debut album disappointed. His subsequent albums sold less and less. The Notebook incident became a permanent stain on his reputation. He never recovered. The Canibus versus LL Cool J beef showed that in hip-hop, reputation matters, legacy matters, and if you're gonna challenge a legend, you better be ready for what happens when that legend responds. Canibus learned the hard way that some battles aren't worth fighting, and some opponents are too skilled to beat.